What is going on, guys? Nice to see you here. Bitcoin and crypto going through a bit of a major retest over the weekend. Forgot it was Memorial Day. American bank holidays, man. Would have closed out some of my long thing on Friday had I realized that. And then, of course, Trump in with all the BS, man. Can that man stop tweeting all the crazy all the time? Larry, what's up, man? Good morning to Scotland. Good morning to Scotland. Sue, how's it going? Good morning. Time to think sheeple, the sheeple. Good morning, Rich, Nuno, Daz, guys, welcome everybody. It's great to see you here. It's gonna be a great conversation today. Maybe a bit quieter today because, of course, it is Memorial Day for all the Americans who might be sleeping in today. Wake up, Bitcoin's pumping. We got a lot to cover. We got Bitcoin news, we got altcoin news. Answering your questions second half of the stream. So I suggest we get straight into it. Of course, the big news. Hilarious, honestly. Friday afternoon, Trump tweets, we're putting 50% tariffs on the EU. Yesterday, Trump, we're going to delay those 50% tariffs until the 9th of July. Instant capitulation, apparently, by the European Union. Ridiculous. The amount of bullshit in this market, I tell you, man. I tell you, U.S. futures opening the green, of course, which is nice to see. Now, why do I call this video Bitcoin and Crypto Major Retest Warning? Here it is. Have a look at this. So, as you are very well aware, we hit highs back in December and January. Good time. You see how we basically wicked up into these which is just a nice reminder on highs, by the way. When you get the high, let's say Bitcoin goes to 250K this cycle, the high will be like a surge from like 220 to 250 in a single day, wick out at the top, done, back to 100K. Anyway, what we had, this was the previous resistance. The daily candle closes, you can see here. What did we just have? A breakout to a new high, $111,000. A retracement over the weekend back to $106,000, which of course is the previous area of price resistance. Now, from a technical perspective, that's great. Very nice. Good. Nice to see. Breakout, bullish retest. You close under 106K, it's a different conversation. That's not a bullish retest anymore, and we're heading back down to find some different levels here. So far, so good. Bullish retest in play. Price attempting to push higher. Now, it's not necessarily going to be a straight teleport up, but as long as we don't close under 106, let's say, 106K, should be enough room there to consider this just a major bullish retest. Let's see. Got a few days here to see how things play out. U.S. markets should open positively tomorrow. Futures so far indicating that they like the news. I would imagine spot bid comes in. Markets in the U.S. didn't even really have time to react to the 50% EU tariff news, so they're just going to open up probably on Tuesday with some positive bid because now all the tariff scare from the EU stuff is gone away. Back to baseline. Great. Anyway, continuing. GUZ Holdings, an electric vehicle company based in China, plans to buy 1,000 Bitcoin over the next year, funded with stock issuance and cash. Man, there are so many companies coming. Lark Levery Content, tell us something cool. You don't own enough Bitcoin. No, you know that. You know that. These companies buying Bitcoin by issuing out shares and stuff like this, this is going to be that. This reminds me really of Grayscale Bitcoin in the last cycle. This is the leverage in the system that's going to grind the price up to insane highs. And then when price starts correcting, what, you think GUZ Holdings is going to diamond hand their Bitcoin throughout the entirety of the bear market? Maybe. Maybe GUZ Holdings just run by like a bunch of like hardcore Bitcoiner dudes who are like, we're going to hold this till we die. My guess is that a lot of these companies, now the Bitcoin treasury companies, some of them will, of course, survive, but Not all these companies are going to make it as companies. And some of these companies, of course, will capitulate their Bitcoin when the going gets tough. Not all of them, but some of them. That some may be enough to put the nail in the sort of coffin, so to speak, when the bear market starts heating up and the liquidation starts spiking. Then we start running into panic sellers from all these big corporate holdings. Just a thought, a theory I'm working on. We'll see how it plays out in next 12 to 18 months. Fidelity says Bitcoin is in an acceleration phase and heading for a squeeze. By the way, can I just point out, guys, Bitcoin's a few $100 away from $110,000. You look at altcoins, you wouldn't believe that. It's like Bitcoin goes up, altcoins over the past few days don't really do anything. Bitcoin goes down, altcoins go down harder. Bitcoin recovers, altcoins still don't really do anything. What is up? First live stream after 5 years. Let's go. Good morning or good evening, depending on where you are. Fantastic stuff. Check this out. A new report from UTXO Management and Bitwise Asset Management forecasts $400 billion in institutional investment in Bitcoin by the end of 2026. What? Them some crazy numbers, dog. Just gonna put that out there. It's a lot of cheddar. Now, I guess this is total allocation, not necessarily 400 billion of new inflows. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind. Like MicroStrategy, for example, already has a crap ton of Bitcoin as an example. But we're going to see public companies increase their stacks. We're going to see wealth management platforms increase their stacks and countries and all that kind of stuff. Sure, fantastic. These are some pretty big numbers, though. If we see a few $100 billion of inflows into Bitcoin from all these big players over the next 18 months, keep in mind, we've got to $112,000 from, what was the pre-ETF price? Say $50,000. We've gone up over 100% from $44 billion of Bitcoin ETF inflows. What happens when we have a few $100 billion in buys? Well, now you get your answer how we get to $200,000 Bitcoin, don't you? Most of you are not prepared for this. Let the GME begin from Michael Saylor. GameStop has not started buying Bitcoin yet, but $6 billion of buys coming in. And that'll just be round one, their first buy of $6 billion. What about round two? What about when they issue out more stocks? What about when they get hooked to the gains? Michael Saylor, I'm sure, is there on the day on the daily phone, like, yo, guys, buy more Bitcoin, issue more stocks, buy more Bitcoin. Crazy stuff. Jack Mahler says his company and Tether plan to acquire 5% of all the Bitcoin. They don't have a time frame on that, mind you, but the clock's ticking, because if they really want to get 1 million Bitcoin, I mean, these are crazy numbers, man. If they really want to get 1 million Bitcoin, they better get stacking, man. Because you think about it, what's 10,000 Bitcoin today? 10,000 Bitcoin, $1.1 billion. Is that right? It's a lot. And 10,000 Bitcoin's a long way away from 1 million Bitcoin. They got the work cut out, man. But if they are able to establish a perpetual bid for Bitcoin, and they really do want to get that much Bitcoin, even if they're only at 1%, that's an incredible amount of coins. That's a huge buy. That's a lot of buy pressure. Guys, if you're trading, by the way, these cryptocurrency markets, you want a good exchange to trade on. BitUnix. Go check it out. Link down below in the description. If you want to trade all the big coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, they got you covered. If you want to trade exotic meme coins, hippos, penguins, cats, dogs, whatever your animal of choice, they got you covered. Okay? The link down below. No KYC, no VPN. That means it doesn't matter where you live in the world. You can come here and trade in BitUnix. No bullshit. Seriously, check it out. You can long the rips, short the dips, and get some sweet bonuses. $400 deposit bonus. So you deposit $2,000, you get $400 back. Even if you deposit $1,000, you get $200 back, or $500, you get $100 back. This is crazy. Free money. Just boom, go get that. And up to $2,000 in trading bonuses. So if you can actually start trading on BitUnix with some kind of regularity, you're going to get some nice trading bonuses back as well. So go check that out. So altcoins. Infamous. Infamous drop in the alpha here. Check out Gib from the Bonk team. I have checked out Gib from the Bonk team. It's interesting. Bonk Fund, the new, is it Bonk Fund? They're trying to launch a meme coin competitor, and we haven't had any serious runners yet. I kind of like Gib. It's got nice frog vibes and stuff like that. I grabbed a small bag, pretty speculative. Let's see what happens. But hey, if that thing goes to the moon, I'll take a 10x on my money. That'd be great. If it goes to zero, it wouldn't be the first time, would it? Yeah. If so much Bitcoin is cornered by a few big companies, will this not limit the universality, which also limits usefulness to the rest of the world? Just a question. Here's the thing, James, is that all of this supply cornering basically raises the floor dramatically of the price of Bitcoin. So that's something worth keeping in mind. And look, realistically, not a lot of normies are getting into Bitcoin these days. We have institutional bid because they're looking at the gold 2.0 trade. Everyone's had years to buy Bitcoin at regular prices. And, you know, you got to start thinking about the long-term implications. Okay, if, you know, all these companies buy gargantuan amounts of the supply, who's still transacting on chain? What's that do to the long-term security of the network? These are all problems for later us to worry about. But man, pretty crazy. Regardless, besides the point, buried in this chart. Milky Bull here. Altcoin market cap breakout imminent. Bears don't want you to see this. It's going to be massive. No, you think, it's a double top. No, this is a potential breakout from previous resistance. We're going much higher, much higher. El Crypto Prof here says, friendly reminder, ETH is in the process of reclaiming the midline on the 2-week Gaussian channel. Each time I managed to do so, strong rallies followed for the entire altcoin market, 2021 and 2024 as an example. ETH. Just kick ETH in the balls again. ETH. It's been a giant flaming pile of dog crap this cycle. You know, the old one, you put in put in a paper bag and you put it on somebody's porch and you light it on fire and the guy comes out, he smashes it, he's like, oh man, I thought it was gonna be dog crap, but it's ETH. That's way worse. It's been a tough cycle for ETH. Here moving forward, 300% gains. I think that's reasonable. Get up 10K. A little bit beyond that, like pico top. Well, we'll see what happens. Regardless, if ETH goes from here to 10K or here to, as I gave my video the other day, talked about the first target, which is around 7K. So if we go to 7K ETH, Sheila grabbed the kids. He's talking about ETH again. If ETH goes to 7K on this next move up, your altcoins are going to go so crazy. I know what you think about Lark. I could get that 150% gain in my ETH, man. I know, but what do you think is going to happen to almost everything else if ETH does that? ETH going up is good for your bags. Let's put it that way. And historically, that's been the case. Third time lucky. Let's see. Psychedelic with some great thoughts here on to share. It's absolutely baffling. We just broke all-time high while currently putting on a level of retest. The timeline is bearish AF. Dude, what a series. What's up with the timeline right now? Bitcoin's at $110,000, guys. Come on. In addition to this extremely bullish price action, we have a golden cross, funding almost negative, favoring shorts, very high open interest, long-term holders buying, short-term selling. What's this tell us? The vast majority are bearish, while the price action is insanely bullish. Means two things. We're going to get volatility, very likely a short squeeze. Two, we have nowhere near topped out. Repeat that. We have nowhere near topped out. Bitcoin doesn't top on app rankings in the gutter. Bitcoin doesn't top with open interest barely moving and 50 other different things. That tops funding is ridiculously high because market participants are max along everything because everyone is bullish AF. The fact is that this is not happening and that after every single tiny drop, loads of bears come out and say, this is it. We're going to zero. Coin trader Nick, I don't know who needs to hear this, but there is zero trend exhaustion across timeframes. Bitcoin closed the week at all times high with zero deviation, with zero derivatives froth. Liquid holiday weekends are noise. The liquid holiday weekends are noise, and even the tariff fears. Oh, the EU. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to pay 50% more for French wine and bottle cap tops that don't come off. What? No, seriously, what is up with that EU guys in the EU? What is that? That's crazy, man. You guys been to Europe? You seen these funny bottle caps they have now? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. I just want to be able to take my bottle cap off, throw it out the window of my car, and just move on with my life. Oh no, now you're forcing me to keep it, communists. Anyway, so however nice to see how fragile the optimism is, even at new highs, supports the view that we continue higher into July, and that when fragile optimism becomes more concrete, we sell into it. Yes, yes. If we get a short-term pullback into early June, you're likely sidelined. You buy it just like early April, just like early May. Yes, guys, highs into July. That's what Global M2 currently is showing. The trend is your friend until it's not. And the friend's your enemy. To kick that MFR out of your house before it drinks the last beers, man. Okay, right now the trend is a friend, though. The trend is going up. We are putting in higher highs and higher lows. That's what we need. Okay, 20 and 50-day EMAs being defended. I know some coins are still looking like garbage. I get it. I'm holding some of those coins. I know there's some coins that are further behind, right? So Bitcoin, for example, looking really, really great. Some other coins, they're just barely on their 20-day EMAs or 50-day EMAs. They're still below their 200-day EMAs. I get it. I get it. But we're heading in the right direction for a lot of stuff, okay? Plus, I know we've seen some meme coins with stupid valuations. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, guys. We sent the dead peanut squirrel coin to like, what, $2.5 billion or something? Okay. That's crazy. But yes, Milo's gaming, Wilder World and Gun 10 to 15x. That's the vibes I want to hear, man. I love it. I love it. Solana Legend says in 2021, this NFT sold for 13,000 Solana, man. What is that worth nowadays? That's like $2 million, something like that, after minting for $70. And people think the bull market is over. We haven't seen anything yet. We haven't seen anything yet. We are still so far away from the crazy. And I know it never feels like you're going to get there. It's like sitting around, and it's that classic situation. You're driving in the car. The kids are in the back. Are we there yet? Are we there? No, we're not fucking there yet. Shut the fuck up. Would you guys cut it out? I'm trying to drive the car. Oh my God. Anyway, we're on the cusp of a decent market move here. And I don't think that the move into July is going to be the final peak of the market. I think we get a top around 140, 150K, something like that, before seeing a little pull back to in August, September or something, before we set up for a final rally, which could last from, let's say, October to maybe even Q2 of 2026. But we'll see how we go. Now will be probably the big phase. The bottle caps are annoying at first, but you get used to it. I guess I've only used it a few times. I'm sure you get used to it. We get used to all kinds of things. Okay. Ethereum heavily outperforming Bitcoin in this quarter. So far, I would not say we're at heavy outperformance. Bitcoin's up 33%. Ethereum's up 40% of the quarter, which is good for ETH, especially considering how bad the sentiment's been recently. But historically, which of course, as you guys know, past returns do not indicate future returns. But on average, Q2, Bitcoin 27%. On average, Ethereum 64%. Interesting. ETH, get busy, buddy. We need you. Altcoin season needs you. As I discussed in the short trade update video earlier, Ethereum stuck between the rock and the hard place up here. Trading right now between the two key 200-day moving averages, the simple moving average and the exponential moving average. Keep bouncing here, we're all good. 2450, that's the line to defend. Breakout here, 2700, we're good. We're rolling. We're going up to 3000, maybe even 3300 on that move. CoinGecko, did you know if Solana had the market cap of ETH, one Solana would be worth $593? Things that should happen. Ado, you know what? I do need to hydrate. You're correct. You're correct. My throat's getting a little parched. Continuing. Perspective, though, isn't it? And it's interesting when you think that Solana beats ETH on almost every metric right now. The repricing, man. Solana's going to keep trending up, won't it? Solana is as oversold right now as when it, this is on stochastic RSI, by the way, as oversold now as when it dumped below $100. That's crazy, man. Solana grinding up here after a retest of the 20-day EMA over the weekend. That's good. 20-day EMA retests are good. They're good. Bro, open more browsers. This is just one window. I got like 5 windows like this, man. It's crazy stuff. There's probably 100 different tabs open on my computer right now. Somebody's brain just exploded out there. Yeah, you can't have that many tabs open. Ah. Solana looking good. Solana's looking good as long as we can keep grinding here on the 20-day EMA. I think we're all good. Aptos, man, I feel like this thing is due for a repricing. By the way, I own Aptos. I own other cryptocurrencies. You can see my full portfolio disclosures in the link down below here, okay? If you want to check that out. You'll also find a risk statement there because investing in crypto is risky and you can lose all your money. Don't forget it. Okay, so anyway, real world assets, Aptos, $370 million in Bitcoin, $1.5 billion in stables, $340 million in RWAs with people like Securitize. By the way, shout out to my wormhole bags, which enables the cross-chain movement of Securitize's money, as well as a few other big players. USDT usage on Aptos all-time highs. Big stuff, 775 million USDT supply. Daily transfer volume, 1.15 billion. Crazy. Chart sucks. Not much to say about it. Chart sucks. At least we got higher lows that keep coming in. We are respecting this trend line that's formed up here. So we got that going for us, guys. We got that going for us. That's good. The problemo, of course, we're still barely holding on to the 20 and 50-day EMAs here, and we're still trading under the 200-day EMA. Honestly, Aptos should be as bullish as Sui is. It's crazy the market has continued to not price that in. But I get it. I get it. Daily DEX volumes and stuff are a lot lower. Aptos still has some work to do. But those are some big numbers right there, and it's catching up for sure. A few chains like that, actually. IOTA, change in active address up 123% this week. Hyperliquid, of course, everybody's raging on Hyperliquid this week, man. It's going crazy. Aptos is a VC coin lark. Well, you know, a lot of VC coins out there. Solana was a VC coin. Look at that. Sui's a VC coin. Look at the performance on that. Most coins have some level of venture capital involvement in them. Like it or not, except meme coins. Meme coins, not the case, obviously. There's a few meme coins that were launched by venture capital firms out there. That's a different story for a different day. Anyway, say top percent change in active addresses, 22%. Top change in transactions, BNB 49. Sonic 13%. Man, my Sonic bag's been so lagging. Scroll. Who did this? No, seriously. Who? Which one of you degenerates, crazy people out here is going and using Scroll? Why in the hell would anybody use Scroll in 2025? That's ridiculous. This cannot be real. I now question all these numbers. Somebody's using Scroll. People need hobbies, man. I don't know what else to tell you there. Anyway, let's continue. So, time to answer some questions, guys. By the way, if you're not signed up to Discord yet, there's a great link down below. You can find it. It's right down there. Meme coins, charts, community. It's awesome. Link down here. So, Ethereum has cool things, but why would I invest in the coin? I feel the same way right now. I like Ethereum. I like the Ethereum ecosystem. I want ETH to win. I just don't want to hold ETH right now. Because this is the thing. Even if ETH goes from here to $10,000 a coin, the promised land for Ethereum, man, every mid cap I have is going to do like 10x in that period of time. And there's that old saying, do you want to be right or do you want to make money? Because you can't always do both. And if I hold a bunch of ETH and it goes to 10K, I'm like, yeah, I got my 3x locked in, man. Boom. I was right. But I would have made a lot more money with only taking a little bit more risk on some of the mid-cap coins that are probably going to do 10x's if ETH goes to 10K. Yes. Absolutely, we'll have an altcoin season. The only question is when and how. Look, so far, there has been no sort of broad altcoin rally. It's been rough. It's been super rough for holders. And there has been areas of extreme outperformance. Look how hard meme coins rallied back. Whereas a lot of tech altcoins like Aptos, say, they haven't had great price performance. That makes me question everything in my portfolio. And then the flip side is like, but someday these things are going to do well. Avalanche, gosh, damn. You know, I sold my ETH because it was underperforming. Avalanche, why the F am I still holding Avalanche? They're like, I know. Good things are happening over there. They got the real world assets. They got the big games. They got so much stuff happening. And just the price does not reflect that. Think about this. If Avalanche had followed Solana this cycle, no, really, think about it. If Avalanche had followed Solana this cycle, then we would have seen Avalanche, just out of curiosity here, what was the previous all-time high? $144. So we would have seen Avalanche get to a new all-time high of, like, let's say, I don't know, $190, $200, something like that, right? And now it would be, well, let's say it would have pulled back, and now maybe it'd be like $130, $140, something like that, $120. Instead, it's 84% under the previous all-time high. Oh, I'm saying, but Solana is 50%. Yeah, but Solana's 50% under its new all-time high because it just made an all-time high. AVAX is not seeing an all-time high since November 21st, 2021. Still 84% under its all-time high, which is concerning as a holder and someone who likes Avalanche and the ecosystem and all that kind of stuff. It's been rough. So definitely has been areas of extreme outperformance when it comes to altcoins, which is great if you're holding the right coins, right? Now, maybe that super broad rising tide lifts all boats moment doesn't come the way you think it necessarily will, but I think a lot of these coins will catch bid once we see markets go really crazy. And as evidence for that, look back at December. Everything was pumping. Every pile of dog shit tech coin that we give a fuck about before was pumping. Now, everything failed. Everything got up to the breakout points and failed there. When we were talking about Avalanche at 50 some bucks, it's like, it's going to break out. And it's over the breakout line and it's down. Close, but no cigar. So yeah, we'll get some variety of altcoin season, but here's the thing. Money's made in altcoins every single day. You just got to be in the right ones. Got to keep your mind fresh and open and say, hey, where can I make money today in the market? Part of me thinks some days I feel like I just want to go and nuke every single one of my altcoin bags and then rebuy, completely reconstruct the portfolio. Some of the things I've been holding on to, and I've been trying to freshen up the portfolio with some new plays, things that I've, like, or newer narratives. I still think Jupiter is going to do super well at some point. They've just launched Jupiter Lend as an example. But man, some of these coins, I've just been trimming and take the money from ones that I trim and pile it back into the other bags. It's kind of been the general MO. The Lark Dark Crypto hat. Yes. Is it too late to buy SUI? No. Let's look at a chart. Let's look at a chart and have some more fruitful commentary on them than just, no, it's not too late to buy SUI. Look, I don't think it's too late to buy SUI. Obviously, it's been one of the most popular coins of the cycle. Let me just put this up on the screen here for you. If you're willing to miss it, currently, We've had a breakdown near the 20-day EMA. That CETIS protocol hack definitely shook a lot of faith in the network. And it's not that Sui's fault. It was an app on their network's fault, but still. Now, of course, we're trying to get back over the 20-day EMA. Now, look, maybe we get a 330 approximate test here down on the 50-day EMA. I could see it happening. If you see it go as low as $3 again, probably a great buy. I don't know what needs to happen for that in the market for that to happen, but hey, we a great buy so far. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Even with that, all the drama that happened last week, still just only put in a higher low, didn't close below 312. So if you get a pullback to 330, 340, probably an interesting spot to look at. But keep your expectations chill, you know. Is Sui going to 100x from here? No. Can Sui 10x from here? If ETH is going to go to $10,000, if your base case is $250,000 Bitcoin, $10,000 Ethereum, $35 Sui doesn't sound crazy, does it? In that scenario. I don't like, you know, price predictions, right? But in that kind of scenario, these kind of coins, and this is going to be like Pico market top price, right? Again, that's not going to like spend days and weeks up there with somebody saying, perfect time to sell your bags, ladies and gentlemen, right this way, sell for maximum profits over here. Doesn't work like that. Never works like that. The high water mark is a second in time. And then you have to look at it and go, all these profits will be lost like tears in the rain. Did you unstake your Jupe? No. I restaked. I unstaked for a few weeks. Restaked. I was gonna never actually got to the end of the claim period. I was pissed off at the Jupiter guys over the whole Meteora, Calcier bullshit. Reality is Jupiter is one of the best protocols on Solana. They keep shipping. JupeLen's probably going to be awesome. Burn more fees, buy back more Jupe to burn. Rock and roll, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. I actually think I might buy some more Jupe. As crazy as that sounds. No, we're not even close to extreme greed. Ages away. Does Aptos have potential to reach 10? Yes. Aptos has potential to reach $10 and go on to new highs. I would be quite surprised if we get a broad risk on season and Aptos can't go to a new high, which would be $20+, by the way. But it did underperform. It did underperform. I mean, think about this. From October to December, Sui went from 50 cents to $5. Aptos went from $4 to 16, something like that. So a 4x versus a 10x. So Sui outperformed by 2.5 times. Question is, will there be more outperformance heading forward? Moonpig. I grabbed a few Solana Moonpig just as a highly speculative gamble. We'll see. Obviously, it's very linked to a certain personality, that trader James Wynn. So we'll see what happens. Don't know. There's other memes I like more. But if I can do a quick flip, make a few bucks on it, great. If I can lose half the Solana I put in there, I guess also great. That'll be fun in its own kind of way. From October to Q2 2026, are you fucking kidding? Lol, 2026 will be a bear market, IT. Only assist speaks in absolutes. You have to keep yourself open to what's going to, I mean, dude, who can predict the market tomorrow, let alone what's going to happen in 2026, right? We're talking about theories right now. The reason I say 2026, okay, there's a few reasons. One, we're basically at the bottom of the business cycle right now. Usually it doesn't. The business cycle doesn't go from the bottom to the top within 6 months. It's too short of a time frame. Doesn't usually happen like that. ISM, PMI, all this kind of stuff, relatively low, hasn't peaked. DXY probably will be in a downtrend for a longer period of time. But the big thing, and this is obviously just a prediction for somebody else, is that a lot of the big analysts who analyze the global M2, yeah, we're talking about the global M2 guys. Let's go. A lot of the guys who talk about the global M2, they see the global M2 not stopping pumping. It could be big corrections on the way and dips, and sure, it's not going to go in a straight line. But that global M2 will remain in an uptrend potentially into Q2 of 2026. So that's what I based that 2026 statement on. Now, if you're going completely on, bro, 4-year cycles, top's going to be November, that's going to be it. Boom, bear market after that. So far, the 4-year cycle has largely remained true. We've had deviations to some extent from that with, a new all-time high for Bitcoin before the Bitcoin halving and stuff. Perhaps the market's changing with institutional inflows. You got all these big companies you talked about at the start. They're going to start buying Bitcoin, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You think they're all going to just stop buying Bitcoin in October? Like, guys, 4-year cycle. We got to stop buying Bitcoin now. Everything's going to go to zero, and we got to drop price by 50, 60%. Big catalysts are here. And those big catalysts could see things pump longer than we think. The whole 4-year cycle thing, you have to keep in mind. I like the theory. It's been interesting so far, and it's been relatively informative. The problem with the 4-year cycle theory is we've only had, 3 cycles? It's not a great data set, and it's all that data from the 4-year cycles existed before the institutional craze, before the sovereigns craze, before the ETF craze. We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. But keep your mind open. Watch the charts. If you see the charts looking cooked and a bunch of top signals flashing, then yeah, get the F out of the market. If you don't, keep your mind open. Better get caught up on the charts here. Swift, I have no idea what that is. What's a Swift coin? No idea. Leaning towards a 2017 cycle, maybe. Say this time is different without saying this time is different. Every time's relatively the same. This is the thing. But the sort of simplistic model, like, oh, well, it simply has to top at this exact point because of that. No, you can always find ways to invalidate and validate a thesis, right? So if we want to say this time is not different, then watch for the pi cycle top indicator. Watch for the 30 different on-chain metrics for Bitcoin to signal a top is in. Watch for the charts. Watch for, I don't know, the monthly RSI to hit 90 or something like that. That's when the top is in, right? It's not going to just arbitrarily be in October. Now, if all those things come together to happen in October, November of this year, yeah, then yeah, the top's in, man. Get that out of the market. We're done. We're cooked. Well, let's see. Let's see. What I'm saying is to have an open mind. And if you want to say, well, this time is different, this time's not different. Again, Bitcoin tends to top right around the time that the business cycle tops out. Bitcoin tends to top around the time that the global M2 tops out. Again, not my prediction, but the prediction is that global M2 is going to, I'm not an expert on what moves global M2. I just look at the Bitcoin charts related to global M2 and say, yep, number go up. The global M2 nerds, big, thick glass guys that sit around analyzing all this crap all day, those guys are saying that Q2 2026 is when we can see global M2 pumping to. So that would be, this time is not different. This time is tracking exactly like all the other times. We should pay attention to that. Business cycle. We're at the bottom of the business cycle right now. If you want to say that this time is not going to be different, and this time is going to be exactly like all the other times, the Bitcoin is going to top with the business cycle, which is, considering it's basically at the bottom right now, is unlikely to top in 4 months. Could, but it's unlikely. That would be saying this time is different. This time's probably not different. But using a simple 4-year model that we only have 3 data sets for is not necessarily enough. And I'm a fan of the 4-year model, don't get me wrong. But we're just throwing out some ideas here. Bitcoin ETFs hurting altcoin season? To an extent, yes, but I think also we'll get a lot more altcoin ETFs coming soonish, and those will bring a lot more liquidity into more exotic altcoins like Dogecoin and Litecoin. Super cycle equals hold my bag. That's right. You're going to have to sell at some point, guys. You're going to have to sell. I have no prediction for Ponke. I was actually thinking, man, we need to have some more monkey coins. I'm surprised there's no big monkey coins. We got big ape coin. We got big dog coins, big cat coins, fart coins. Penguin coins. Where's a good monkey coin, man? Yeah, I need to make a meme coin. No, don't resist the dark side. But no, seriously, where's the monkey coins at? Swift coin is the Chinese XRP thing. You know, I have heard, not my first rodeo. I can remember hearing a lot of times, this is the South Korean Ethereum. This is the Chinese Ethereum. This is the whatever Ethereum, the Indian Ethereum. This is the Chinese XRP. This is the Japanese XRP. This is the XRP of France. Yeah, I'm not going to buy XRP either, but if I was an XRP fan, I don't know. Guess it just kind of actually apparently was it Kita. We did a report on that one a few months ago for the newsletter. Should have bought some. It's up like 5x. Russia buying big, wouldn't be surprised. Do you ever talk about Caspa? Nah, not really. Wojak, don't know anything about it, haven't looked at it. Yeah, we got a great bot, actually. Shout out to the guys at the LARP Detective Agency. I don't know why their token's been so absolutely just devastated beyond belief, but their product is actually insanely good. We've got this bot in the Discord. All you have to do is just put in the contract address, and she'll give you a quick, like, multi-paragraph report on that coin. You know, is the supply bundled? What's going on? All it's super awesome. Anyway, I know nothing about Wojak. Oh, I like the Ponke. By the way, Sue, I love the memes that Ponke is doing. Those guys are hilarious, man. That's some of the best videos getting produced in the crypto meme space right now. I think it's absolutely hilarious, but it's not a multi-billion-dollar meme. I'm not sure. Did it ever get $2 billion? I'm not even sure it ever got $2 billion. But I'm surprised there's no billion-dollar plus monkey. Ponke is the closest we got, and it got up to, I think, $600-700 million, but I'm not positive. I didn't follow it super closely. Oh my gosh, we're up to 42 minutes. I better finish up then. Bro, I hate the bots in the comments. It's not just, yeah, it's not just crypto YouTube. It's any really finance YouTube. Go to, like, I don't know, Graham Stephan or something like that, and they've got the same kind of problems. The bot issue is very, very real, and there's unfortunately not much we can do about it. If I had to hire somebody to just sit there and delete comments all day, the problem is they'll come back tomorrow and they come back with slightly new things. You can't even, like, ban the specific words or anything. It's problematic. You ever going to grow your hair out again? Nah, this is about as long as it's probably going to get for a while. Don't know. Maybe when I retire, I'll grow it out, but I don't know how much hair I'll have by then. Brett going to test 7 cents today. That'll be nice, but I guess we'll see what happens. What's the price of Bitcoin doing right now? Almost $110,000. Fantastic. No Larkin's vacation day. He, 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 he. Stinky hippo, popcat, monkey. Yep. As it says in Ponke, a monkey. It is, but, you know, we need a bigger monkey. We need more famous monkey. I feel like Ponke hasn't really captured sort of the zeitgeist of crypto native interest, right? Think about, like, how popular Pepe is. Ponke is nowhere close. Dogecoin, Mindshare. Think about it. Ponke is nowhere close. We need a monkey or an ape, preferably a big fat orangutan. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Was Sui's been hacked again? What? Well, we'll go look into that on Twitter later. Anyway, guys, see you later. Peace out. Bye.